This is an actual play of Hunter the Vigil. Chronicles of Darkness has themes of violence, horror, and may contain adult language. This podcast features Rainy from Just Barbarian Things and Heretic from Regular Everyday Normal Gamers Union. All right, since this is our second session, it starts as a new chapter, is the way that they word it. So you're able to choose a couple of aspirations for this set of gameplay.
Okay.
So your character has a couple of long-term aspirations, like you want to find out what happened to your family, basically.
Right.
But what you should look at choosing is something that you think is feasible solving over the next session of gameplay or two at most. So short-term things you want to accomplish based on the situation as you know it.
I think we want to figure out what's going on in the penthouse. And I think we want to figure out what's up with the darkness outside. And I think that's accomplishable, I think.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, if you are able to resolve either or both of those aspirations, each one would give you a beat, just so you know.
Okay. Either or both. Okay.
Each one. So if you resolve one, you get a beat. If you resolve both, you get a beat. Do you need me to stop for a second?
No, sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. I think I'll be all right. Just 2 seconds.
All right, so you kind of picked over the tools in the back room. None of you saw anything that looked usable based on your skill sets.
Right.
So you're getting ready to turn around and go out. You have the keys that you needed.
Yeah.
And you hear a voice that sounds like it's coming from the apartment next door in 5B.
Is that across the hall or next door down the hall?
Like literally next door.
Okay.
Okay. And you hear a man, sounds like he's hurt, and he says, I've got a gun, you zombie fucks. Get out or I'll blow your heads off.
Okay. We don't want to attract too much attention here to ourselves. So, okay. I bet we could get into that apartment pretty easily, if we wanted to. All right. So, I'll as soon as we hear that sound, I'll give my party members that are in the room with me a significant look.
Okay.
And kind of give them the query eyebrow, and then look over at the wall that is shared with apartment 5B, through which we heard the exclamation, if that makes sense.
Right. I mean, what you're going to get as a general rule is that Michael wants to help survivors. Rachel's kind of in for anything that helps you guys figure out what's going on, but she's, can go either way. And then Nikki, he's just not afraid of a fight, so he's there to survive and do whatever needs doing.
Okay.
So it's kind of up to you.
All right, great. So I will start heading towards the hallway then.
Okay. And
poke my head out a little bit and look.
You don't see
down
anything
the hallway.
In the hallway proper.
Either way. Okay, so then I'm gonna, I'll make my way to 5B.
Okay.
Kind of in that, you know how people look when they're running out of a hostage situation when they've been released in the movies? Obviously, you probably don't know how that looks in real life. I mean, I don't either. But in the movies, you just do this, hunched over, kind of fast walk sort of thing,
okay.
Is what you're trying to be sneaky, but you're not good at it.
Okay.
I guess.
Sure. All right. So the door to 5B is all the way open.
Okay. I'll peek in and see what's going on in there.
All right. The apartment looks pretty wrecked. There's cheap furniture kind of all broken and lying about in weird places. You see blood splattered on pretty much everything. Actually, even right outside the door, the carpet there kind of squelches under your feet because there's so much blood in it.
Ugh. Gross.
You can see that there's one of the maddened residents with his back to you, kind of scrabbling at the bedroom door in the apartment, like he's trying to get in. And from that room, you can hear a low moan. It sounds male, and it sounds as though he is in pain. And you hear, I know the zombie rules. I'm not afraid to shoot your brains right out of your head.
Poor guy. Okay. So there's only one, for lack of a better term, zombie in this room?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
And he looks injured.
All right. Is Nikki standing next to me?
Yeah.
All right. It's the same rules apply. We don't want to go around like killing people if they're going to snap out of it when whatever this is wears off.
Right.
So that's not cool. So I'll pat Nikki, on the shoulder maybe with the back of my hand, like in a sort of come on man gesture. Let's do this. And
yeah, he kind of like rolls his shoulders, cracks his neck.
And I'll start towards the quote zombie unquote for the same sort of effect, like if Nikki grapples them, and I'll try and grapple the dude as well to maybe choke him out if possible.
Right. So you walk into the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
The carpet squelches. The tile of the kitchen squeaks under your feet. And the madman stops his scratching at the bedroom door and kind of cocks his head to the side and looks at you. So let us go ahead and roll initiative.
Gonna do initiative, huh? Okay. So that's 12.
So Carter's 12. Rachel is 14. Nikki is 11. And Michael, 6.
We figured out my armor is 1, by the way, right?
Against bashing damage.
1.
Because of your jacket.
B.
But you also have defense
as
a stat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotcha. I have defense and armor as 2 separate slots,
so
but the armor was blank, so I wanted to fill that in.
So your armor will add to your defense in the situation where it applies.
Sure. I just happen to notice.
Okay.
I don't know that it'll necessarily be applicable to what's about to go down. Maybe it will,
Yeah, it definitely can. All right. So I'm just grabbing some statistics. All right. So it's going to be Rachel that gets to go first.
Okay.
So she actually kind of wades in ahead of you and Nikki. Kind of drops her weight low. And she is going to use her lovely fighting style. Let's see here.
She gonna go for the ball punch?
She's not a dirty fighter, that's Michael.
Okay.
Alright, so she basically tries to sweep the leg.
Mm-hmm.
She's not able to do so and knock him over, but she does do some damage. Alright. After Rachel, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna, let's see, is Nikki going after me?
Yes.
Okay. So I just happen to be there. Okay, I'll try and grapple him like I did the last guy, although I had an easier time with the last dude because of positioning, and he was already grappled by Nikki, but I'm hoping that he'll be distracted by Rachel enough to allow my feeble man on the street grappling skills to
work. Do you want to hold your action until after Nikki goes?
Oh, that would be better. Yeah, that would make
you are
more
allowed
sense
to do that
tactically. So yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, let me reorder. Okay, got it. So it is going to be Nikki's turn, and you gave him the signal to try to grab him.
Yeah, I gave him the signal.
So he is going to do so. We'll try to anyway. He's not able to get a good grip on him. He's covered in blood and kind of slick. All right, so it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try and grapple this dude.
All right, so it's strength plus brawl.
With my Strength plus brawl. Alright. I got 2 10s. And a 9. So I actually got 3 successes on that. So it's not bad.
Right. Well, you got more successes than he did, so you're able to get a grip on him.
Okay.
What that means is that in future turns, if he stays grappled, you'll be able to take certain grapple-related actions as well.
Okay. I'm just gonna, hang on for dear life right now, trying to choke him out.
Okay. So you are holding on to him, and that makes it his turn.
I'm basically pulling the chick move in every action movie where there's a non-combatant female, jump on the dude's back and grab him around the neck. I'm not sexist. That's just what happens in Hollywood.
Right, he's able to break free of your grasp.
Okay. What does that mean for me?
Nothing, he kind of just windmills out of your arms and you stagger back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not very strong.
So now it is Michael's turn. Alright. Michael enjoys some dirty fighting. Alright, so Michael rushes in and kind of punches him right in the knee.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of bowls him over, otherwise kind of tumbles into the room.
Okay.
So the madman is down on the floor, more blood kind of oozing out of his existing wounds, but he's not quite out yet.
Oh, he has wounds.
Yes.
Yikes, that's not good.
All right, so it is back up to Rachel. Is there anything you want to say to her before she walks over?
Well, did everyone kind of get the message last time? These are people, and we're trying not to kill them if we can avoid it because they're just possessed.
That could have
or
been
sick or whatever.
A conversation that you might have had with them.
Well, I know that I conveyed that to Nikki and he got the point, but
right.
I don't know if everyone else was privy to that and received a similar message.
You can say something, though, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, Rachel, just knock him out. Don't go for the jugular, girl. This is just a guy. It's not his fault.
She gives you a nod and kind of walks over and does a very movie style chop.
Okay.
And he stops moving.
Oh no shit, it worked. Okay. All right, I'll take it.
All right. So from the bedroom, the closed bedroom door, you hear, hello? Is anyone out there not a zombie?
We're not zombies out here, man. Just look, try to calm down. If, we just stopped this guy out here, okay? And if we come in, we're not going to hurt you, so don't shoot us, okay?
He cracks the door open, and then he sees you guys, and he sees the madman on the floor. And so he opens the door and walks out. He's a skinny white guy. He has short brown hair and those hipster style thick frame glasses.
Oh, those. Awesome.
He's got a snub-nosed 38 in one hand and a mall style samurai in quotes sword in the other. His clothes are about as covered in blood as his apartment.
Yikes.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, man. We're heading up to the penthouse, but we had to come down and get some stuff down here for that, from the maintenance office next door, right? So, you live here? Is this your place?
Yeah, I'm Ben. This is my apartment.
Ben, I'm Carter. This is Rachel, Nikki, and Michael. I'll point at them in turn.
And Janice sticks her head in from out in the hallway, and she's like, "Oh, hi, Ben."
Also me. And also Janice. Some of these people you might be familiar with as your neighbors. Look, I'm just visiting, okay? But I was here hanging out with Janice and the gang, and then all this hell broke loose. So we're trying to, get out of here and see what's going on.
Yeah, I had no idea what was happening. I was on my computer and then I heard something at the door and I thought someone was knocking and I opened it and this guy ran in and he just attacked me and I he grabbed me and I tried to get away and I fell over some furniture and then I saw my little decorative sword over here and I kind of got him with it a couple of times before I got back into my bedroom.
Dang, Michael, is this guy going to be okay? Can you stabilize him or something like that? Make sure he's gonna be all right when he wakes up.
Take a look. So Michael's like, well, he's out, but he's not dead. I mean,
he's gonna be okay from what you can tell.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not gonna lay there and bleed out. No use not knocking him out.
So.
Not taking him out, I should say.
No, that's fine. Ben's like, yeah, he didn't bite me or anything, so I think I'm good.
Okay, I don't know if these guys are actually zombies, Ben. I just, for ease of communication, I wanted to go with the term you were using, but I think these are just regular people, but more like possessed or something like that.
So, Ben walks over to, the body of the dude, kind of near the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of, pokes it with his little blunt maul sword.
Yeah.
And you see, kind of like what you saw with Brandon, the body, shudders.
Mm-hmm.
And this greenish-white mist kind of comes out of his mouth. And it kind of swirls around the body for a moment, and then it zips right towards Ben.
What? No. Wait, Ben. Okay.
So Ben staggers backwards and kind of falls over. And then he gets up and looks at you, and his eyes are clouded over.
Oh, shit.
And he kind of lets out a little howly, shrieky thing.
Okay.
And then goes to lunge at you.
So when I saw that happen, I only had time to say, oh, shit. Right?
Yeah.
Basically, is all I had time to do.
And so he goes to leap at you.
Okay.
Slips on the blood in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Bashes his head against the counter.
Okay.
Falls on the ground.
Oh, Ben! Oh. Buddy, are you okay?
So it looks like he's knocked himself out pretty good.
Okay.
And you see the green mist kind of seep out of his mouth.
Can you fan it away? Do I know anything about this?
Well, it just seems to
anything
dissipate
that I can do?
This time. If you want to roll occult, you can see what you might glean about it.
Yeah, that would be good.
Intelligence plus occult.
That might, be useful. I have no successes.
This is a mysterious force indeed.
Okay.
But Janice runs in, she's like, oh no, Ben, what happened to Ben? And she's checking on him and stuff. And Michael comes over and props him up, make sure his airway is good and everything. And after about a minute or so, Ben's eyes open and they seem normal.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, it happened, guys.
So my possessed theory, I think, is holding true here. And I don't, when we took out that other guy, whatever, ghost or whatever was in him kind of migrated over to you. And long story short, you got knocked out somehow. And then it left. So that's in a nutshell what happened. Do you have any more bullets for that thing?
I just have what's in it. It sits in my nightstand drawer.
Okay.
I've never actually used it before.
No. Oh, all right. Well, okay. Just try and be careful, okay? Don't hurt anybody. Those things can be dangerous. Make sure and keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire at something you're sure you want to hurt, okay?
All right. I think I'm just going to barricade myself in my room until this blows over.
All right. Do you want to maybe, I don't know, what do you want to do with this other guy here? You can't chuck him out in the hallway with monsters running around. Are you comfortable with him sleeping it off here? Is he going to be all right here with you?
Well, not in my room. I'm closing that door.
Okay, you're going to lock yourself in your bedroom and you have a bathroom in there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you want to stay here, that's cool, man. Good luck. You can come with us if you want to, but if you don't want to, no one's going to make you do anything.
He still looks pretty dizzy, and he looks hurt from the fight he had earlier. He's definitely just like this little nerd dude, and this is beyond his physical capability.
Okay. All right, so lock the door behind us, okay? And stay
Yeah.
safe. And do yourself a favor. Throw that toy sword away. You're going to hit someone with it. It's going to break, and it's just going to, cut you. Don't just... Yeah, be careful with that gun and otherwise stay safe, okay, man?
All right, guys. Well, good luck with whatever you're doing.
All right, Ben. Good luck.
All right. So...
Actually... Oh, we don't have service. Never mind. Okay, let's carry on.
Yeah, you look at your phone. Still says no service.
Yeah. I was going to get Ben's number. We could ring him up down in his room if we needed to, but I don't think that's going to, matter.
All right. What now?
Let's head up to the penthouse if we can, because we haven't tried going up, like you said. We only tried to go down.
Okay.
So
you go back out into the hallway. In the distance in other parts of the floor, you can hear kind of crazed laughter. There's an occasional wet gurgling noise. The way the building's set up, the acoustics are really vague, so you don't know exactly where these things are, but you know there are more on the floor. But you don't see any as you make your way back to the elevator.
That's good.
Right. Where would you like to go?
We're going to try going to the penthouse with our newly acquired keys.
So you put the elevator key in and turn it and get to press that lovely little penthouse button, which makes an audible click with the key in place.
It's more of a chunk.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the elevator lurches and goes up to what is functionally the 8th floor. So the elevator stops and the doors open. Gate's still closed, unless you want to open it.
No, that's a good line of defense if there's,
All right.
anything.
So you see on this floor there are white tile floors that are polished to almost a reflective shine. You see a pair of dark green double doors that apparently lead into the penthouse proper. And to the right of those doors is kind of a hallway that goes around the apartment. It looks like there's kind of this vestibule area where the elevator is, where you could, set up chairs or a little soiree or something. There's windows all the way around.
Okay.
Up here, you notice that there are some differences in what you see out the windows.
Okay.
So instead of just the void, like you were seeing downstairs, the blackness, there appears to be a violent storm raging outside up here. And you did feel that wind when you were on the 7th floor earlier. But here, there's actually, you hear rain and hail. And there's lightning crash after lightning crash. It's just almost constant.
Okay. So basically there's just this hallway, vestibule, and double doors.
Yes.
Right here. And that's it.
Yep.
And you can look out the cage of the elevator and see, you don't have any blind spots, basically.
No, I mean, what you see kind of up ahead are those doors. Things that you probably would have noticed. Obviously, the tile floor here is very different from the flooring you've seen in the rest of the building, which was that tightly woven apartment carpet that was kind of dingy.
Yeah.
Here, the floors, are made out of that white tile, which seems to be very clean. And then you can tell, just based on where the doors are to the penthouse, that there's a transition to a different flooring there as well. But everything else that you see that's not the floor is covered in like a pretty decent layer of dust. So it seems like other than doing some mopping, there hasn't been a lot of upkeep up here.
Okay. Yeah, let's open the gate and proceed to the double doors.
All right. So you open up the gate. You go to the double doors of the penthouse.
Yeah, and I'm going to listen at the door. I urge other people to listen at the door as well. See if they can hear anything.
So let's go ahead and do composure plus wits.
Finally, something I'm good at. Sadly, though, yielded only one success.
Success is success. It's fine. So, beyond the strange hail sound from outside and the lightning, like the thunder that crashes after the lightning strikes, you don't hear anything from inside the penthouse.
Okay. It's completely silent on the other side of this door. For me, at least. Did anyone else? You guys hear anything?
No, and they all, like, you guys are all standing there with kind of your ears against the door.
Yeah.
No one hears anything else.
This is all Scooby-Doo style, really. Like, did you hear anything, gang? Okay. I'm gonna try the door knob or handle or whatever.
Yeah, it's unlocked.
Okay. Does it push in or pull out?
It pushes in.
Nice. So, all right. Let's open the door.
All right.
Just kind of push it open, like, slowly, trying to do it quietly.
Right. So the floors in here are this lustrous red wood, and there is kind of a little foyer like that you're opening the door into before the rest of the penthouse. It looks like it used to be kind of classically elegant, like really well appointed. But again, just everything's super dusty in here. Like whoever lived here just didn't really do anything with it. And otherwise, there's not really much to look at except for a body and blood.
Okay.
So there's a kind of corpse slumped against the wall to your right. It's just at like kind of an entryway that goes to the next room in the apartment. And a couple of people from your group are like, "Oh, no, Keenan."
Oh, no, Keenan. Who's Keenan?
Keenan's just this nice, tidy kid who lives in 6F.
What was he doing up here?
Well, I mean, he'd help the old man with his groceries sometimes, and I know they played chess, I think. Like, he seemed to befriend the old guy.
Okay. So it's not out of place for him to be up here, then?
No. I think he's one of the only people in the apartment that actually talked with him at any length.
Who's this old man you're talking about?
Brian? Brian Sullivan is the guy who lives in the penthouse.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, should we check the kid to see if he's, actually a corpse, or is it pretty obvious that,
Yeah, so there's blood spatter on the wall, a gun near his hand, and the remnants of his kind of head sort of tell you the story that it looks like he probably shot himself.
Oh, okay. Bummer.
There's a trail of blood that leads into the next room that he's sitting next to.
Okay. Well, all right. I guess I'll, if it's obvious that he's, no longer with us, I'll, pick up the gun on the floor by his hand and inspect it to see what's going on there.
The gun's familiar to you. It's very similar to the one that you've used as your concealed carry before.
Okay.
And it seems to be missing 3 bullets.
Wow.
Okay. But is otherwise, as far as you can tell, in working order.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll keep that in my hand, really, because
okay.
depending on the type of action, it's not something you want to stick in your pants like they do in the movies. You know what I mean? Like if it's a Glock or something like that with no active safety, you don't want to be putting that in your waistband. So I'm just gonna carry it around in my hand, I guess.
Sure.
I get hung up on pointless, dumb details. Sorry.
No, you're good. All right. So you have a gun in your hand.
Cool. Well, let's do a press check to see if there's one in the chamber.
Oh, my gun knowledge is not as good as yours. So if he shot himself, would it have...
If he shot himself and there were more rounds in the magazine,
Yeah.
it would have loaded the next one.
Yeah, there were only 3 that were missing from the full mag.
Basically, when I inspected it, I would have done all of that. I would have dropped the magazine, seen that there were 3 missing, replaced the magazine in the pistol, and then, pulled the slide back a little bit to see, some brass there, so I can reasonably assume that there's one, a hot one in the chamber.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll assume that that's the case. And but I mean, what other rooms do we have in here? Are we leaving stones unturned?
Well, so there's the doorway right next to the body, which leads into the rest of the apartment.
No, is it a doorway like an internal doorway where it's a doorway with no door?
Yeah, it's like an archway almost.
Okay. All right, and there's a trail of blood.
Yes.
Somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's. The trail of blood is going through that doorway.
Yes.
Well, let's follow that.
All right. So the trail of blood leads to another body crumpled on the marble floor in the next room.
Okay.
The body lies on its side, and it's a male, but he looks impossibly old. His hair is so thin, it almost looks like spider silk across his face, and the hands are just covered in a tracework of wrinkles.
Okay. Is this Brian?
This is not what he looked like the last time I saw him. He did not look this old.
Okay. Well, interesting. But it still looks like him. You still think that this is Brian, maybe? You recognize the old guy's sweater.
Or his dad or something.
His grandpa. Okay. Well, let's check him out. See if he's, alive or dead, even though he looks to be 1,000,000 years old.
Nope. So there are 2 kind of bullet wounds to the chest, kind of center mass.
Okay.
And he's obviously been laying here bleeding out for probably since this started.
Okay. All right. Well, let's, I guess I kind of want to search the old guy, see if he has any keys or anything interesting on his person.
Okay. So you kind of start to feel him over.
Okay.
And kind of roll him over a little bit. And when you do, and his hair moves out of his face, you see a mist form around him.
Oh no.
And then it kind of condenses.
Jump back.
Okay. So you kind of drop him and jump back.
Yeah. Look out. Guys, there's something happening.
And the mist incorporates into the translucent form of an old man with bullet wounds in his chest.
Okay.
And he kind of just stares at the body for a minute and looks kind of lost. And then he looks over at you and he says, "You need to help me."
Okay. So just to be clear, I think you're dead. and we're not. So, what I mean is, I think your body's dead, and we're still very much alive in that sense. So, you know where you are. I don't know
Yes,
if you're
I was
confused or whatever.
I'm aware, and he kind of looks to the windows that are in this room as well, of the situation. I was trying to stop this from happening, and he looks at the body. He says, "It looks like I have failed."
Wait, so you know what's going on with this? As I jerk a thumb towards the nearest window.
I do, and I can tell you how to stop it.
Yeah, what's going on here, and how do we stop it?
Well, my death seems to have released the spirits that I'd been trying to protect the building from using my wards. And he kind of like gestures vaguely at the room, which you haven't really looked at too much at this point.
Right.
But you notice that the floor in here is a series of like patterned concentric circles and lines. And there are kind of these symbols running parallel to some of the patterns. And he says, I can feel them battering at the defenses that are left. For now, you're safe in this room, but we need to work quickly because that won't last long.
Okay. Do you have any more bullets for this thing?
That is not mine.
Okay. I wonder what the kid was doing with this. Anyway.
Well, the spirit responsible for Keenan's actions is a man that I once knew well. He became trapped here after his death, and he's gone mad. His name is Josiah Hill, and he needs to be stopped. He sent Keenan here to steal his anchor from me, and that's something that needs to be found.
Okay, we have to find Josiah Hill's anchor.
Yes, spirits have a physical object that binds them to the physical world. They might be kept here because of unfinished business or other reasons, but there's always a thing that ties them. And for Josiah, it is his pocket watch. It was his most precious possession, and it is that which binds him to the world now.
And this was in your possession, but it's no longer here? You think it was successfully stolen? I mean, it doesn't look like the kid made it out of here.
From what I have been able to piece together, although my range is limited, I believe Keenan stole it on a previous visit from me, and then came back with a gun.
I see. Okay.
But you could try searching him to see if he has it on him.
Okay. I wonder if it would be beneficial to look around the rest of the room here. I mean, we have this guy here who seems to be a helpful spirit, so we could maybe just ask him if there's anything that we should gather up and take with us. Do you have anything that could help us? So, this guy's name is Ben, right?
Oh, that was the kid downstairs.
Oh, that right.
Yes.
This is
Well, the residents know him as Brian.
Brian, that's right. Brian.
But why don't you go ahead and roll? Let's see what I'm going to have you roll here. Dun, dun, dun. Looking for stats. Let's do... what kind of skills might you possess that would help you remember something that you've seen before?
Let's see.
Because I don't remember which skills that you have.
Well, I have crafts, investigation, occult, and politics.
Okay.
So I don't have...
Well, let's do your int plus investigation.
Okay. That is no successes.
Okay. No worries. But you ask him if there's anything around that might be helpful to you guys?
Yeah.
Right. He asks you, have you run into any residents possessed by shades?
Maybe. We've run into residents who clearly seem to be possessed. Their eyes clouded over and acting violently and...
Yes. He nods knowingly. He says, the ridden always have that look about them.
Okay. That
I
sounds
have
familiar.
a number of blessed relics. They're in the chest over there. He points to a chest that's nearby. These would allow you, if you had to fight them, to damage the shade without hurting the physical form it possesses.
Oh, that would be fantastic. That was a concern of mine. if I'm honest. We've been trying to just subdue them without harming them because they're not in their right mind, and we don't want to hurt anyone.
This might make that work a bit easier. And that way the innocence that you find can yet be saved.
All right, let's check out this chest, because time's a factor here.
All right, so you open it up, and there are 4 relics inside. There is a withered, shrunken paw of some kind. There is a set of Buddhist prayer beads.
Ooh.
There's a rosary.
Okay.
And there is a fetish made of feathers and a raven skull.
Huh. Okay.
It says they all work similarly. They're just from different faiths, but all of them blessed. You may each choose one as you will. I obviously have no use for them at this point.
Relics. Okay, so there's 3 of them?
There are 4. A paw,
4.
the prayer beads, the rosary, and the fetish.
Okay. I kind of shy away from the rosary, so I don't really care which one I get. I just don't want that one.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't really care who gets what.
Okay, we'll pick yours, and then the rest of them will pick something up.
I'll just grab the beads then.
Okay, so you grab the prayer beads. Rachel picks up the raven skull fetish. Michael picks up the paw. And Nikki picks up the rosary.
Okay.
All right, so some out-of-game chatter at this point, since you need to know how to use your relic.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like a card?
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay, one moment. All right, your blessed relic is going to add 2 to your attack pool.
Blessed relic. +2 attack.
But only when you're fighting ghosts.
Only versus ghosts.
And each success on your attack roll will hit the ghost instead of the human body. So you're going to kind of punch into them spiritually.
Okay.
As long as you have this on you.
Oh, okay. Like you don't have to wield it. You just kind of have it on your person.
Yep. So you could have your prayer beads and shoot your gun and shoot the ghost instead of the person, technically.
Wow, that's fucking magic.
It is. This is your first magic item.
Hit the ghost, not the host.
Got it. So what I'd like you to do is to make an integrity roll for your breaking point. Because you've met a ghost, which you've never done before.
So this is the breaking point roll?
Yes.
That we need to make?
Yes.
Okay. I got a 10 and a 9. So is that a 10 again?
Yes,
roll?
it is.
Another 10. So that's 3. 8. So that's 4.
So close to an exceptional success.
I know. So close. You should rub it in.
All right. An exceptional success would potentially have resolved your condition.
Potentially.
But yeah. So, cool. So you don't freak out. This is good. You're getting some answers.
Okay.
In a very vague way, although I think you have some more details to pick up, you have figured out what's kind of going on here, which was one of your... What's going on
in the
penthouse? You got that one done.
Okay.
So you have a beat.
Cool. Getting there.
All right. And the ghost is there if you want to ask him any questions otherwise.
So, just to be clear, Brian, what we need to do to stop this is I'm going to go ahead and I guess I would have put my bottle of bourbon down on the the end table, I guess, while I talk to him. Because I have, at this point, beads in a bottle and a gun and all this stuff.
Well, you can put the beads around your wrist or whatever if you'd like.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Or in my pocket or something.
You should wear them for them to work. But
oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then yeah, I'll wear them on the wrist then, I suppose.
Sure.
So, Brian, in order to...
Actually, the name is Sullivan.
Okay. Sullivan.
You may roll intelligence plus composure.
I think that's also 5. Yeah. Cool. Dang, 4 successes.
None of them roll against.
None of them roll against.
All right, so you recall that Sullivan Barnes, was the name of the man who is in the painting with Josiah that Rachel had mentioned?
Yeah, okay. So Sullivan. Brian Sullivan, but your name is Sullivan.
Sullivan Barnes.
Sullivan Barnes. And I'll kind of look around at the party and see if any ears perk up at the mention of that name.
Oh yeah, Rachel is like, I know what that is.
Okay, cool. She's happy then. So we have to find Josiah's stopwatch.
His pocket watch, yes.
His pocket watch, right. And then what do we do once we find it?
An anchor, in order for it to release the spirit bound to it, has to be destroyed utterly. The easiest way to do that I can see would be to tie it to the lightning rod on the roof. Let the heavens destroy that which anchors him to this world and free all of us from this nightmare.
So this has to be destroyed. You can't just smash it with a hammer.
It has to be unrecognizable from the form it originally possessed.
Okay, so you could do that with a hammer. I mean, pretty well, but not that much.
No, I think with the metal and everything although you would dent it and deform it, it would not be destroyed.
So it's a magic pocket watch that's immune to hammers. Okay. Just kidding.
No, you're being difficult. The idea is, even if you broke it, that's not destroying it utterly.
Sure.
It has to no longer resemble at all the thing that it was.
Gotcha.
And not be intact in any way.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you gotta melt it down or lightning it or something like that. You really gotta do a number on it. Okay. It's still a magic pocket watch. I mean, literally, it's magic.
Well, that's fair enough.
Okay.
Your definitions of magic may be different than mine.
Probably, but that's okay. So we need to retrieve this wherever it is, and we need to take it to the roof and put it on a lightning rod during a lightning storm, is what we're getting into here.
Well, the solution is not always the easy task.
That's, I'm just making sure that that's what we're looking at. I want to make sure I know. I'm reading the quest log here. is the quest description text, the quest text.
I only did the free trial of World of Warcraft, but I believe that is accurate.
Okay. So, do you have any idea where he might have taken it?
I would check his person first. If it is not on him, then I would check his apartment. He's in 6F.
Okay. Sounds good. And we've got
I would be aware that the shades may be somewhat attracted to it, so be on guard.
Okay. You have anything else that might help us on our quest? Because it's dangerous to go alone and you're an old guy.
My power has waned much over the years. Unfortunately, those relics are the only things relevant to this issue that I can provide.
Okay. Alright, now the completionist in me, if this was a video game, I would be searching the whole place anyway.
Yeah, sure.
So, I don't know if that's relevant here, but that's what my instinct tells me to do, so I'm going to go ahead and investigate the room for any assets, any potential assets.
Okay. So let's do... let's see. We'll do investigation plus intelligence.
Okay. Oh, I got 2 successes with a roll again. All right, only 2.
Okay. So beyond what you'd kind of expect to find in like a very lean elderly person's apartment, some food, instant coffee, things like that. There are a lot of things that look like antiques to you, but you wouldn't recognize them as being anything important.
Okay. All right, well, let's search Keenan then.
All right. So you go back out to the body, and you give him a good search over. I will not make you roll for this because there is not too much to find besides the gun, which you already have. You find an apartment key, but nothing else.
Okay. And we'll pocket the apartment key to go along with the penthouse key.
Yeah, you're the key master.
Yeah. To find the gatekeeper. I'll be set.
Right. So now what would you like to do?
Let's head to his apartment as per the old guy's instructions.
All right. So you head back to the elevator, pull the gate down, press the button for the 6th floor.
Yes.
And you're going to be heading all the way down the hall to F.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, jeez.
Again, you kind of hear some sounds in the distance of like what the old man referred to as the possessed residence. But again, the 6th floor, the floor you guys started on, doesn't seem to be as impacted as some of the other floors. So you don't really run into too many issues along your way. And you get to his apartment. And you notice that the door to 6F kind of hangs loose in its frame.
Okay.
Well, this is Keenan's place, Michael says.
Yeah, it looks like I won't need the key unless this key is to something inside it. Does it look like a door key? Or
it does look like a house key, an apartment key.
Okay, so it's probably not to something inside it. So I'll hang on to it anyway because it's just a key. But yeah, all right. Let's go into his apartment and see what we can find.
All right. So looking into the apartment, you notice 2 things. One, everything is kind of in a shambles. It looks like the place has been ransacked. But 2, you notice that the walls and the furniture and the ceiling are all covered in just this spidery text, like these ravings of what looks like a madman. You think there might be a common thread among the words if you took some time to kind of figure it out. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, this place just seems like a mess. Janice looks in and says, Keenan was always so tidy, so kind. This doesn't seem like him at all.
Okay, well,
so
why don't...
You think the watch probably is here somewhere because it wasn't on his body upstairs, but you're also concerned by the state of the place that maybe it has already been found.
Sure. Okay. So Rachel, you want to help me decipher some of this writing, see what we can glean from it, and the rest of you guys look for the pocket watch here.
All right. So because Rachel is quite talented in these things, she even has encyclopedic knowledge. What I'll do, I'm going to have you roll a wits plus occult.
Okay.
And you may have 2 extra dice for her assistance.
Okay. So that's a total of 7 dice.
Oh, you want to risk a willpower?
Do all 10? Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna risk a willpower.
Don't get no successes. Don't get none.
So, I'm unclear. Are you hoping I don't get any, or are you hoping I don't get none?
I am telling you not to get 0 successes.
Because colloquially, it could be that,
That is true.
Okay, so I have 2 9s and 2 10s.
All right, re-roll your 10s, because you have 4 so far.
Mm-hmm. So we're hoping for something exceptional here.
Yeah, you need 1 more success to hit the exceptional range.
That's an 8, so that's 1 more. And a 2.
Okay.
So we made it to 5.
Yeah, you have an exceptional success.
The first one
so
in
it's
the
not
game.
Easy.
This is monumentous. We should celebrate.
All right, okay. Go ahead and take a beat.
All right.
Let's celebrate that way.
That's my 5th beat.
So you have 1 experience point.
Right. So I'm going to make a little section down here, maybe.
Yeah. For experience.
XP.
And you can choose to spend experience immediately, or you can save it. Just remember that if you spend it within a session, it has to be in a justified way.
Mm-hmm.
If you spend it between sessions, you can get more creative.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just going to hang on to it for now.
Okay.
But I might spend it later. I just don't necessarily know what I've been doing a lot of here.
Right.
So
it's not easy, but with Rachel's help, you're able to untangle the thread. And it says this. I mean, you kind of had to piece it together from different places, but this is kind of what you get.
Mm-hmm.
The wizard's trap closed on me with fire. I knew that he shouldn't have been trusted, but I was so desperate for peace from that thing which stalked me. He bewitched me, he played me for a fool, and I gave him everything he needed to make his magic. I thought it was for my benefit, but with magic there's always a price to pay. He was patient. He waited for the toll to be worth his efforts, until my family had grown fat and complacent in his trap, and then he struck, and we were burned and torn from our flesh. Our souls were trapped in the raging storm of his will. We may be trapped, but we will be free. The wizard, Barnes, will pay with his life. All who live on my land will pay with their lives.
Okay. So Sullivan seems like he was a good guy, but maybe he's the bad guy. Oh, no. Okay. The truth resists simplicity.
All right, so you've kind of figured out all of the weirdness.
Oh, I also get an extra willpower.
Oh yeah, you do.
I almost forgot about that. That would have been, Okay. I still have a level of bashing damage. How do you heal that sort of stuff?
It would take 15 minutes of recuperation to heal 1 bashing damage.
So I'd have to chill out for 15 minutes.
Yes.
I'd have to sit and hang out. Okay, we don't have time for that right now.
Okay.
All right. You guys find anything?
You want them to search the apartment?
Well, I told them to while me and Rachel were doing this thing, so they should have been searching it all along.
Michael reports that it just seems that whoever made the mess in this apartment has probably taken it because it's not here.
Okay. Did you find any clues as to who that might be or where they may have gone?
Well, I mean, the damage to the door looks like it's pretty fresh. So whoever took it, I think took it after all this started happening, which means it can only be 5th floor or higher.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just start on this floor. We're going to avoid the 5th for now. That's where all that activity is, so that's probably where it is. if my game playing instinct, has any relevance here. So I'm going to fill in the party on everything Rachel and I discovered. Give them kind of the Cliff's Notes version of what's going on here.
Michael says, well, I mean, do you think we should go back and talk to Sullivan about it and see if we can make more of this? Or do you think we should just keep on with trying to find the watch?
Well, let's go see what Sullivan has to say about these allegations.
Yeah, Rachel says, I mean, History says a little bit about their relationship, but I mean, nothing about this.
Okay. So, yeah, let's head back up to the penthouse.
All right. So that is where we are going to stop for now, because that puts us just over an hour with our adventure today. So that's the end of this chapter. And then we will pick up with leaving Keenan's apartment in our next episode.
That sounds good. This is a lot of fun.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
If you've enjoyed this podcast, consider supporting us on Patreon. Visit us at patreon.com/justbarbarianthings.